Hey YouTube, Velociraptor for you here, and welcome again to Jurassic Collectibles channel. As you can see, I have my Jurassic Park shirt on, which means I am ready to review some Jurassic merchandise. So today I'm going to be taking a look at this. This is the Walmart exclusive Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom Battle Damage Herrerasaurus from Mattel. Now, when I first found out that Mattel was going to be including Herrerasaurus within their toy line for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, naturally I just had to pick this up for two reasons. One reason is because this creature is established within Jurassic lore. It's one of the creatures that has its own icon on it on the prop park map that is on one of the brochures for the 1993 film for John Hammond's park, and also because it does later on in Telltale's Jurassic Park the game in 2013 have a small but pretty pivotal role where a pack of these menace the main characters within the story of that game. And the other main reason is because this creature is from the Triassic period. Now, the Triassic was the time period in Earth's history when dinosaurs were first beginning to appear on Earth. It lived approximately 237 to 208 million years ago, making it one of the first dinosaurs to ever appear on Earth. So I, for one, am glad that this creature is featured in Mattel's Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom line. It helps not only give it wider exposure to people who may have never heard of this dinosaur, but I feel it also further cements its status within the Jurassic franchise. So without further ado, let's take a closer look at this guy and his packaging. So to start off with, here is the Herrerasaurus, looking very nice in his packaging. As you can see in the background, we have the erupting Mount Sibo, making for a pretty nice fiery background. Here is a button letting you know that is where the battle damage gimmick on him is. Over here in the top left, here's the Jurassic World logo, which is all cracked, looking pretty nice. I actually do like the cage motif here. Down here in the lower left, we have Owen Grady, played by Chris Pratt, along with his trusty Velociraptor friend Blue. Here is Herrerasaurus, and right here in the bottom right corner, we have Battle Damage. Turning him around, you can see on the back we have this really nice artwork displaying the features of the Herrerasaurus figure. Again, in the upper left we have the Jurassic World logo. Here, this is a little advert for the Jurassic World Facts app that was launched right around when Mattel's toy line released. These, most of the figures rather, have a QR code on their feet, which when you have the app on your device and you scan it, it brings up a little neat animatic of the creature that you have, as well as some information about it, and I will go into a little bit more detail about this later on. So anyway, moving down to the bottom left, we have another picture displaying some of the other dinosaur figures that are in the Battle Damage line. We have Blue, we have Sticky the Stygimoloch, a Triceratops, and a Pachycephalosaurus. As we turn the package on this side, as you can see, nothing really special. Once again, the Jurassic World logo, as well as the little red battle damage marks and the cage. And on this side, we have the Herrerasaurus facing us. And on the bottom, just some not really important information. We do have the Mattel logo here, have the Universal logo, and that is the Herrerasaurus in his packaging. So, now that I've taken a look at the Herrerasaurus here in his packaging, let's get a better look at him out of his packaging, shall we? Alright, here is the Herrerasaurus out of his packaging, and wow, really, just look at him. Even though he's a smaller figure, he looks really, really, really good. So let's not waste any time and get a close-up look at him. So, starting off with the head of the Herrerasaurus, as you can see, we have a really nice head sculpt. Look at how detailed it is. I am really impressed with how much detail Mattel have put into the sculpt of this figure alone. Look at all the defined definitions for the ear, for the eye socket, have a really nice yellow orangish eye, even the fenestra of the skull, the nostril, nicely sculpted teeth, and I love this matte finish that is all over this figure. So it does come with a neck that, as you can see, can move up and down. And he does have an articulated jaw, which is a staple of any dinosaur figure. And look at how wide his jaw is. Like, that is a really wide gape. It's a big mouth. And as you can see, have a little bit of a gap there where there obviously wasn't any paint on it. Minor in my opinion. As a whole, the mouth looks great. The teeth are really nicely sculpted. The roof of the mouth is not painted, but I can overlook that personally. Has a nicely sculpted tongue and flesh between the jaws, really nicely painted. So as we move down the neck of the Herrerasaurus, really nice like bulging veins and in the neck. As we travel down the torso, we come to a really nicely sculpted torso. As you can see, they really took in the time to paint each and every individual scale that is on the creature, even these bumps. And first see these bumps on the neck and right at this spot along the back. Moving down the arms, we've got some really nicely defined musculature in the arms. Nicely sculpted fingers ending in nice claws. Personally, I would have liked the hand claws to be painted, but it's pretty alright for what it is. The arms are articulated. You can move them up and down and also move them outwards. Gotta make it look like he's swimming. Anyways, here's another nice look at the torso, and this is the spot where if you had another dinosaur figure, you could then activate the battle damage figure. So if I just pop this down, as you can see, we have a really nicely sculpted and painted piece of muscle here, and you just, as you see, is on a mechanism in which it's kind of like a revolving door. So all I have to do to just close this is just snap it back into place like that. So moving down the leg, we have really nicely sculpted musculature going on in the leg, ending in pretty big feet. Personally, I would have liked the feet on this to be a little more anatomically proportioned, but they still look okay, and I understand why Mattel made the feet on this big, is to help it to stand. If they probably were anatomically proportioned, it would probably have a hard time standing, but anyway, the feet are pretty nice, have nicely sculpted and painted claws. So on the underside of this foot, we have the Jurassic World logo. And on this foot, that is the QR code for the Jurassic World Facts app, which I will show later. So then, as we turn them around and take a look at the tail, as you can see, they even took some time to sculpt a few nice bumps along the tail. The tail is pretty short. I personally would have liked a little bit longer tail. It's just, you know, nice for what it is. I just would have liked it longer, but still they managed to put in some nice detail into the tail, like all these nice little sculpted creases and folds in the tail. Moving back up to where the legs and the torso are, as you can see, getting another look at this leg, really nicely sculpted and defined musculature and tendons. And another look at the opposite side of the torso, you can see I like this nicely sculpted, you know, vein, and the ribs just poking through. The paint job on this is pretty nice. It may not be exact to the paint scheme of the creature seen in Jurassic Park the game. This is more of like a sand with some brown, while the creatures in Jurassic Park the game from Telltale were more of a reddish, but still looks pretty nice. We have another nice look at this hand, and another observation is that the hands have 4 digits. Paleontologists are still debating whether this creature had 4 or 3 digits on each hand. It still looks pretty nice. And then as we go back towards the neck, really like the nicely sculpted defined vein in the neck, and now we're back to that really gorgeous head sculpt with that really, really wide jaw. Now, before we get into measuring and size comparison, I'm going to show you the function and the feature, rather, of the Jurassic World Facts app and the QR code. So, as you can see, there is the app right here. I tap it. Here it is, loading. I like the sound effects of it, by the way. So this is the app. You initially start off with the screen, and if you go right here to where it says scan, you tap that. So now here I have the Herrerasaurus in full view. Whoop, come here. So now if I take the Herrerasaurus and just scan the QR code on his foot here, as you can see, it unlocks this really nice animatic of the Herrerasaurus. Wow. I really like the animation. Personally, I could have done with some different sound effects. As you heard, they gave him the Jurassic Park Velociraptor sound effects, but wow. For a little animation, it looks pretty good. It really does look pretty good. It captures the likeness of the figure to a T. And if I were to tap here, as you can see, you tap these and they bring up these little factoids. As I'm reading this, she has long feet and can run fast. And Herrerasaurus means Herrera's lizard and comes from the discoverer's name. So if I tap this, the Herrerasaurus is 15 feet long and 3.6 feet high. Really nice. Really, really nice. So, how big is this figure exactly? I have my handy dandy tape measure here. So, from his tail to his head, you're looking at around 7 inches in length. And in terms of the height, I would say, if I bring it a little closer, you're looking at about maybe 3 to 3.5 inches. Alright, it's size comparison time. Now, unfortunately, I don't have Jurassic Collectibles' good friend Off-Color Alan with me, but I do have this. This is the Schleich the First Giant's Herrerasaurus. Now, this is a more museum quality model of Herrerasaurus, if I just turn him around, and I believe this one has already been reviewed on Jurassic Collectibles channel. Look for the link for that down below. As you can see, next to the Mattel Jurassic World Battle Damage Herrerasaurus, looks pretty nice. In fact, the Mattel Herrerasaurus could almost be like either a female or a sub-adult, and this Herrerasaurus here could almost be like a adult, so One difference, though, is look at the hands of the Schleich Herrerasaurus. As you can see, they have 3 digits instead of 4, and like the Mattel one, this one comes with an articulated jaw, but nowhere near as wide as the Mattel one. Next up, let's bring in this. This is the Lost World Jurassic Park male velociraptor from Kenner, and as you can see next to the Herrerasaurus, he scales up pretty nice to it too. Herrerasaurus looks a little smaller, the velociraptor is a little bigger, but they really do look good next to each other. Alright, next up, something a little bigger. Here, this is the 2015 Target exclusive Jurassic World Charlie Raptor figure from Hasbro. As you can see, next to the Herrerasaurus, she dwarfs him, and yes, she is one of the, as some dislikers of the 2015 Hasbro line have called her, a craptor, because she lacks the trademark sickle-shaped claw. But next to the Herrerasaurus, I mean, if you were trying to imagine this figure here as maybe not a raptor, but maybe an adult Herrerasaurus, she actually would suffice nicely, I believe. And if you remember from my review of the other figures, her included, I did mention that out of them all, Charlie here is my personal favorite. Next up, let's change the pace a little bit and bring in a herbivorous dinosaur to compare this Herrerasaurus to. So, let's bring this guy in. This is the 1997 Kenner Lost World Jurassic Park Parasaurolophus, the electronic one. Unfortunately, mine doesn't have the electronics anymore, but if I pose him like this, next to the Herrerasaurus, he really does scale up pretty nicely next to him. As for this particular Parasaurolophus figure, as I said, mine doesn't make sounds anymore. I remember getting him back in the late 90s, 1997, for the Lost World, and I've had him ever since. So everyone, this was my review of the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom Walmart exclusive Battle Damage Herrerasaurus. Overall, I feel it is a pretty nice figure and a nice addition to your overall Jurassic Park merchandise collection. In my opinion, the claws on the hands could have been painted, the feet could have been a little smaller, and the tail could have been longer, but overall these are just little minor nitpicks I can easily overlook. It really wins out with this matte finish and this paint job and this overall really cool sculpt. I really do feel it's a neat addition to have in any collection. So, will you be picking this up? Do you have it already? By all means, let your thoughts be known down in the comments below. And in the meantime, rate, comment, and subscribe to my channel and Jurassic Collectibles channel, and we will see you both in our next respective videos. Take care, everyone.